Are you sure?
Here's the 30-second lesson on what legends know. Never ask a bride why she's getting married. Don't wear a skirt on a windy day. Deodorant is not a shower. Don't sniff chili flakes. And don't forget, saving is not investing. Legends don't just save, they invest in mutual funds. Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
As Ram Lala's consecration ceremony is over now, there is one question that all political junkies must have in their minds. How will it impact the 2024 Lok Sabha election? Of course, there seems to be a consensus that the 2024 election is a done deal. And nobody looks more convinced than the constituents of India, the opposition alliance. Look at their activities and pronouncements. They remind you of former diplomat Ronin Sen's headless chicken remark, remember? Confused and panicky. They declined invitation to the ceremony, calling it a political project. But were visiting temples and monasteries on Monday. A big hoarding outside the Congress office in Bhopal had Lord Ram's picture, along with smaller photographs of Congress leaders. And it read, Rajiv Gandhi ka sapna hua sakar, Ram Mandir ne liya aakar. Rajiv Gandhi's dream has been realized. Ram Temple has come in place. Congress-led Himachal Pradesh government declared a public holiday to celebrate Ram Lala's Pran Pratishtha ceremony. Leaders of many other parties have declared they plan to visit the Ayodhya temple soon. At the root of this panic and crisis of conviction is the perception that Ram Lala's Pran Pratishtha has made Prime Minister Narendra Modi invincible and solidified BJP's claim over Hindu votes. How correct is this perception? We may get some clues from a Pew Research Center survey of religion in India, conducted between November 2019 and March 2020. That survey provides a brilliant insight into the mindset of the people who voted for the BJP in 2019 Lok Sabha election. Let's look at the survey findings based on face-to-face interviews with about 30,000 adults. So one of the questions in that survey was, do you have to be a Hindu to be truly Indian? 64% of the people said yes. Now, given that the survey took into account 61.5 crore adult population in India, when we are talking about 64% of the people saying that, we are talking about 39 crore people saying yes, that you have to be a Hindu to be truly Indian. Out of the said 39 crore Hindus, 80%, that's about 31.5 crores, said it was very important to speak Hindi to be truly Indian. As per the survey in the 2019 election, 60%, that is 18.91 crores, of Hindu voters who believed that it was very important to be a Hindu and speak Hindi to be truly Indian, cast their vote for the BJP. In a nutshell, extrapolating the Pew Research Center survey findings, it can be inferred that nearly 20 out of 23 crore people who voted for the BJP in 2019 were Hindus who think being Hindu and speaking Hindi are criteria for being truly Indian. Mind you, the figure of 20 crores is derived by extrapolating the Hindu, Hindi, truly Indian voters samples from the total adult population as per the 2011 census, not just the electorate. The survey findings only revalidate the fact that Hindu Hindi believers constitute the core of the BJP support base. The survey threw up some other pointers that should help us assess the possible political and electoral impact of the Ayodhya event. And these pointers are, the survey asked all Indian Hindus about which god they feel closest to. The results showed that 44% feel the closest to Shiva, Lord Shiva, 35% to Hanuman, 32% to Ganesha, 28% to Lakshmi, 21% to Krishna, 20% to Kali, and 17% to Ram. Of course, if you add them up, it will not come to 100, it will be more than 100 because many of the respondents chose more than one God. Notably, sentiments of closeness for Lord Ram were particularly strong in the central region at 27%, compared to 20% in the north, 15% in the east, 12% in the west, 13% in the south, and 5% in the northeast. Another pointer from the survey findings: most Indian Hindus, 84%, consider religion very important in their life. If you go region-wise, the lowest percentage of such people was in the south, 69%. 59% of the Hindus surveyed pray daily. The percentage is 37% in the south. Among Hindu BJP voters who link national identity with both religion and language, 95% consider religion as very important in their lives. So I spoke about Hindu BJP voters. Now, among other Hindu voters, 80% find religion very important in their lives, and 53% of them pray daily. So it's not about Hindu BJP voters or Hindu non-BJP voters. The percentage of people praying daily is pretty high. 45% Hindus are fine with having neighbors of all other religions: Muslim, Christian, Sikh, Buddhist, and Jain. However, an identical share, again 45%, would not be willing to accept followers of at least one of these groups as neighbors. 36% of Hindus, as per the survey, do not want a Muslim as a neighbor. Among Indian adults, 53% believe that religious diversity benefits the country, while 24% see it as harming the country, and the other 24% have no opinion. As per the Pew Research Center findings, Indians are enthusiastic about religious tolerance and simultaneously prefer segregated spheres for different religious communities. And as the PRC survey said, these two sentiments may seem paradoxical, but for many Indians, they are not. Similarly, among Hindus who told PRC surveyors that it was very important to stop the interreligious marriage of Hindu women, 82% said that respecting other religions is a very important aspect of Hindu identity. I mean, these sentiments are equally paradoxical. It is in these paradoxes that the opposition party's dilemma lies. If 36% of Hindus don't want a Muslim as their neighbor, and 45% would rather not have a person of another religion as their neighbor, how would they react to the opposition party's secularism? If only 53% of citizens believe that religious diversity is good for India, how would the opposition's emphasis on diversity and pluralism resonate with them? If religion is so important in the lives of 84% of Hindus and even 80% of non-BJP voters, how effective would be the opposition leader's argument about the BJP mixing politics with religion? The opposition can draw solace from the finding that, among those who voted in the 2019 general election, only 3 in 10 were Hindu, Hindi, truly Indian BJP voters. That may indicate the BJP's geographical limitations. What must, however, worry the opposition is the finding that 64% of Hindus in India consider being Hindu very important to be truly Indian. Even though the regional breakdown varies. So in the north, for instance, they make up for 69%, 83% in central India, 65% in the east, 61% in the west, 42% in the south, and 39% in the northeast. Mind you, the survey was conducted about 4 years ago. These percentages are likely to see an upward revision after the much hyped consecration ceremony in Ayodhya on Monday. PRC survey findings give an inkling of why opposition parties, especially the Congress, find it so difficult to take on the BJP in northern, central, and western India. Given how the BJP has sought to spread the Ram temple fervor to the south, you saw Prime Minister Modi spending several days in southern states visiting temples associated with Lord Ram. The opposition had better brace up for a challenge in the south too. Until the opposition parties figured out the paradoxes of the Hindus indicated in the PRC findings I just spoke about, they will continue to rush from one temple to another or one monastery to another every time the BJP launches another expansion project, ideological or political. Prime Minister Modi's Dev Se Desh and Ram Se Rashtra Tak message from Ayodhya on Monday is likely to have a huge appeal in a country where 64% of the Hindus think that being Hindu is very important to be truly Indian. Opposition leaders can only hope that these are all Modi-driven sentiments which will subside after he hangs up his boots. Well, who knows when he will do that. And whenever he does, will the opposition be in a good enough shape by then to throw a challenge to his successor? That's all from me in this episode of Politically Correct. Thanks for watching.